Hi guys, today you are going to learn how to create model using React.js. If you are unfamiliar with React at all, or you are a beginner willing to learn React from the scratch, check out our previous videos. I added them in the description. Basically, a model is a pop-up window. As you can see, when we click the login button, model will pop up. Okay, now let's get into coding. Here you can see I removed everything in app.js. Let's run it. Type npm start. And as you can see, there is nothing there. Now let's minimize it. First, we have to create the component. I'm going to create a folder name component. Then I'm going to add model.js and model CSS to components. Okay. Now we have created both of them. Let's go to model.js. Okay, first let's import React. Then let's create a function, very simple function. Let's call it as model. Then let's return some value. I'm going to return let's have a division. That's enough for now. And then let's export. Default. Oh, it was wrong. Here I added expect, change it to export. It's export default model. Okay, now let's go to app.js and let's import that here. Import model. Okay, now I have imported it. Let's import use state as well. Use state is in React.js. Okay, now let's edit this. First, I'm going to add a heading. I'm going to name it as model button. Okay, now I'm going to add the button. Let's enter the button. Okay, now first we have to add our constant as this too. When model open is initially, I'm going to set it to false. It suggests that model is closed by default. The set model open function is used to update the state of model open, probably to open or close the model based on certain user interaction. Okay, we are done with it. Now let's go back to button tag. Okay, then first let's add a class name. I'm going to edit as login button. Then I'm going to add on click event. Basically, what I'm going to do is to set an event listener so that when the button is clicked, it executes the arrow function. Inside this arrow function, I'm going to add set model open true. And it is called, it updates the state of variable model open. Presumably to open our model. Okay, now we are done here. Let's name our button as login. The button tag is done. Now, uh, I want to set this logic to our model. So basically what this does is if model open is true, render the model component and pass the set model open function to it as a cross. You can see I included and logic of the model open. Now we are going to model set model open equals set model open. Now everything is done here in JS. You save this and let's go to our, as you can see, there is the heading and the button. Now I'm going to change the background color. I'm going to use this website, CSS gradient.io, and I'm just going to copy the gradient color. Okay, now let's see. As you can see, that is applied into our application. Okay, now it is done. Now we have to edit the model text. But first I'm going to copy this image to our SRC. That's what I'm going to use as the background image. Okay, now it's done. First I'm going to import our CSS file. So let me import it. Import model CSS. Okay, then I'm going to use these icons, look icon and use icon. Now I'm going to import those two. Import for look and for user. If you don't have installed React icons, you have to install it. Go to terminal, a new terminal, and then npm install React icons and press enter. Then it will install. I already have it, so I'm not going to install it now. Okay, now I'm going to now I need. Oh, I'm going to add files. Where is? I'm going to make this from file. So then I'm going to import our image. I'm going to name this as login. Okay, now I have imported it. Now let's get into the content. Now, first things first, I'm going to create a state variable. So I'm going to name it as set show model. Then, and of course, its corresponding updated function. Then I'm going to declare it using React use state. Set it to false, and then we are going to create a function called handle class model. When invoked, this function will use set show model to update the state variable controlling the model to false. Effectively, we are making this to hide the model. Let's set to false. Okay, now it's done. Now let's get into our form. I'm going to give this division the class name as model container. Okay, now it's done. Then I'm going to add a form. Let's say form action. Then let's give this form a class name as well. I'm going to name it as login. Okay, now I'm going to add our login image as the background. Okay, now let's add style and double curly brackets inside of it. As background. Now select background there. Okay. And then type backtick URL inside brackets, a dollar sign, curly brackets, login. Then repeat the same across all of that. Okay, now we are done. Let's save this. Now I'm going to next item. I'm going to add a close button. As we created the form, I'm going to style it first. I'm going to add form. Then I'm going to add display block, background, transparent, shadow. Let's add the shadow. And I'm going to edit as white shadow, margin, then max width, max height, then okay, now it's done. Now let's get back to our model.js. Okay, now let's create another revision. I'm going to name it as title login. Then I'm going to add a button, the close button. And here I'm going to add an event. And it's button content as X. Now close it and close the division. Now let's add a heading as login. Then create another division. I'm going to give class name as input box. Then let's add the label here. The username. This is an input type. Then we have to add input type as it is an input. Let's press hold. Let's add enter username. Just username. It is essential, so I add the required. And file user. File user is the icon we are going to use as the end of that label. Okay. Now let's add the password as in the next division. I'm going to add the same class name and now I'm going to add the label as password. Then let's add the input type password and to placeholder. It's password. And it is required as well. Okay, now let's add follow here. Okay, now it's done. I'm going to create another division and I'm going to name it as remember forget. Okay, now it's done. Now let's add a label and put, let's go into input type. Class name is remember me. Close the label, and I'm not going to add a specific link. You can add your register link here. I'm not creating it right now, so then let's add in the button submit. And I'm going to create on click event here. Okay, now type submit. Set login as content, and let's create another division to register link, and let's just type a paragraph. If someone don't have account, we are going to provide a link here to register. Now same as before, I didn't create a register model, so okay, now let's run our program. Here you can see our form is done. We have to style it. You can see that follow can file user. It's done, and we have to style it and make it user friendly. Now let's get into styling part. First, I'm going to style login division. First, I'm going to add background cover. So our background image is going to cover the whole form. And then background repeat none, or else it will be few images in a row. Then width and background position. Set it as center. Okay, now it's done, and let's get into H1, the login title, and then I'm going to add a margin bottom. Then let's add our close button. The close button, I'm going to position it absolute, and I'm going to give this background color. Then I'm going to define it position. Okay, now it's done. Let's see. When we click login, you can see close button and heading. Okay, now let's get back into our CSS. Now let's style input text labels. Our labels, let's set fonts, display, color. Then let's add font color. I'm going to add plain black, and then let's add font weight bold. Okay, now let's add input text, input box, input. Let's add a display flex direction column, and with 100% and margin 10 px auto. That's enough, I guess. Padding, let's add 10 px, and font family, I'm going to add Poppins, and then background I'm going to add this gradient color. Okay, now let's add a border as solid white. Okay, now justify content to right and align items to right and font display. Let's add font color as white and font style bold. Color set black. Okay, now it's done. Let's move on to next part. Our icons. I'm going to style our icons. We have to position them. Let's give them a color black and position absolute. Both are going to have the same position when it comes to right side, and I'm going to go. Then icon 2, it will be the same color position and right position. Only thing different here is the top position. I'm going to add like 500. It's 400. That will be enough. Okay, now let's style remember for before. Okay, first I'm going to add display flex, and then justify content to space between, and let's add a margin become as 40 pixels, and then margin top as 40 pixels as well. Now let's style our submit button. Let's set the position as relative and align items to center. Border none. We don't border to button, and I'm going to add background. I'm going to add this gradient blue. Then let's add margin top. I'm going to add 30 pixels, and then width as 100%, and border radius, let's add 100 pixels, and cursor pointer, then it set about. Okay, now submit button is styled. Now let's style register link. I'm going to add first let's text align center. Then let's add font size to say 15 pixels. Okay, now let's style our register. I'm going to text decoration as borderline. Okay, now let's add a color. I'm going to add blue. Okay, let's save this. Let's look at our app. Okay, it looks nice when our model is working. Okay, now you can add your own styles to your model. I created a very basic login model. Now I see the adding position follow can file user correctly. Let's question it correctly. I'm going to change here our top positions. Okay, now let's save it and now it's done. Okay, now I really hope you have learned something new from this video. Subscribe our channel for more content like this and keep coding and keep smiling.